Hello everybody and welcome to Oversplits week 3. Today is middle splits. So I'm going to start with a little bit of a warm-up that you can go through if you want to. And then I'll go ahead and test my middle splits and then my over middle splits. So I'm going to start just by doing a wide-legged squat. So you're going to come into a squat, wide-legged, and you're going to use your elbows to push onto your knees to get a little bit wider. So you're down as far as you can. If you're up here, that's okay too. You might lose your balance, but that's okay. You just keep pushing. You can lean forward if you can't get your ankles all the way to the ground. You'll just be leaning forward onto your elbows. Either way, you'll be pushing further. So if you are all the way down, you're just going through, just like this. Your feet are a little bit pointed outward. That helps open the hips a little bit easier. So I'm just going to be rocking, moving side to side, whatever feels awesome. Getting warmed up and loosened up. And I come to one side, push on that side, and reach up with the other arm. Other side, push with the elbow, and reach up with the other arm. Push with both your arms so you can feel a really nice stretch in the inner hip. Awesome. Let's come down into a frog pose. So for the frog pose, you want to get a 90-degree angle with your hips and knees. Coming down and just slowly coming down. If you need to come slowly, that's okay. And you might be all the way up here, that's okay. But this is where your hips are going to be for a middle split. And again, we'll just rock back and forth, whatever feels okay. And just hang out wherever it feels the most stretch. Because that's how you're going to improve, is leaning into where it hurts. Leaning into where it hurts is the best thing that you can do, besides actively stretching. So breathing deeply into the stretch. If you can, you're going to straighten one leg. So you're in the frog, and you straighten one leg so that this leg is in a full split, and this one is still in the frog. Come back up, and switch to the other side. Moving and breathing. Okay? Awesome. So when you're ready, we'll come back and we'll put the legs together like this into a diamond, and we'll lean forward, pressing with your hands into your knees. The low back is nice and flat so that you can actually get into your hips, because if you're coming forward this way, you're not really going to get into your hips too well. So keep your back nice and straight, your low back is straight, and you hinge forward from the hip. And that's how you're going to feel it in the hip joint. Keep breathing. You're doing awesome. Shake it out. And let's come into a straddle. Okay, so as wide as you can go in your straddle. You inch your feet out a little bit further. We're not all the way in the middle split yet, so don't worry about that. Wiggling it out. And come to the side and reach over with the other arm. Now you're going to tilt your torso so that you're facing that leg. So we were going like this, now we're going to tilt forward and go like this, so that your chest is coming down towards your knee. Feel it's a little bit more of a different stretch. Awesome. The other side will come again, doing our side twist. You can look up if you can. Keeping this hip from going up, you're going to keep it on the ground. Come back up, twist to the side, and all the way back down. Coming to center, we're going to do some roll forwards. So what you're doing with your hips is the same thing that we did in the frog split. Rolling the hips forward. Keeping that low back nice and straight. Just keeping it nice and straight. And that is how you're going to get that stretch right here. Okay? And then when you're ready, feeling good, you're going to roll forward into the middle split. You can have your feet pointed upwards or pointed down, whichever is more comfortable on your knee. These muscles right here surrounding your knee should be nice and engaged, so they're not just relaxing. You want to practice sort of contracting those muscles, because you want those muscles contracted when you're in the middle split. Because otherwise you can strain your knees, you can strain your tendons. We don't want any strain, we want comfortable, beautiful stretches. Tilting. Say hello to my cat, Nawanda. And when you are ready, you'll tilt forward and give me a kiss. So now we're in the middle split, and you're going to hang out here for 5 breaths. 3, you can do it. 4, 5, awesome. Roll out of it. Really, really good. That was awesome. So that was your first middle split of the day. So now I'm going to switch my mat over. Starting in a wide leg. I'm going to tilt my torso forward as well. So keeping nice and flat in the back and just hinging forward. So you're not sort of just like dumping, or else you're going to get a stretch in the low back and in the hamstrings. If you're hinging forward, you're going to feel that it's a little bit different of a stretch. You're hitting some different muscle groups that way. Always breathe in. Okay, I'm going to take a step forward. I'm going to do some Spiderman stretches. I don't know what they're called actually, but Spiderman stretches. So I'm going to have this leg in that same squat position, and this leg is going to be straight. So you're pressing into this bent leg that's in the squat. If you're up here, that's okay. If you can, get your heel all the way to the ground. And of course, whichever way is more comfortable on your knee. So we're going to go ahead, move around like this. And here's the Spiderman. We're going to lean a little bit forward, put your spidey fingers on the ground. And we're going to come up through the forward fold, bend the opposite leg, and straighten the previously bent leg. So again, we're going to push into the bent leg, hands on the ground, lean forward, coming up through a forward fold, bend the other leg while you straighten the other one. Okay, do this a couple times. Straighten, bend. Straighten, bend. And meet me again in a forward fold. You're going to walk your feet out into the middle split. So before we were tilting into the middle split, this time we are dropping into the middle split. Okay? All the way until you are all the way into your middle split. Okay? We're going to stay here for another 5 breaths. Stay with me here. 1, 2. Just try to relax. 3. 4. What's new with you guys? Let me know in the comments. 5. Awesome. And we can roll out of it. And you can come into your straddle, or if you need a break, you can come out of it. Always take a break if you need to. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Give yourself a little bit of a break. Grab some water if you need, because we are going to be doing middle oversplits. Be right back. Okay, welcome back. We're going to start with the actual oversplits. So now that we're all warmed up, we can actually do that. So if you have any like blocks or even just like towels or anything like that, if you're ready, we're going to go ahead and try that. We're going to start it on the most narrow side, so you can see that your block has different lengths. So we're going to start it on the most narrow side. This will be the long side and this will be the narrow side. So the same thing that we did when we were coming into the first middle split, when we just sort of tilt forward, we're going to try that but with the blocks raising. You can try it with one leg first, both legs first, whatever you want. Why don't I try it with one leg first just to see. So this one is actually a little bit taller, so I'm going to go with this one. You can see different blocks have different sizes. So just keep that in mind when you're buying them. Awesome. I'm going to start on my left leg. So exact same position, just one leg is raised. So as wide as you can. Starting in that nice straddle split, we're going to go as far as we can into our straddle, scooch our hips forward a little bit, and just start rocking back and forth. And when you're ready, you'll fall into the split again, okay? If I have room. So you can see when you come forward, that's the middle split. When you come back, that's the straddle, okay? Okay, feels pretty good with one leg. Let's try the other. Your block can be right under your ankle, and that'll make it easy so that your foot can still pivot. Ready? And forward. You want to start as wide as you can in your straddle. That'll make it the easiest to just tip in. And I find this is the easier entrance into middle split as opposed to dropping into it. Whatever's easier for you though, let me know what's easier. And forward. Awesome. Let's try it with both legs. So right on the ankle there. Cool, cool. Into our straddle. So this is sort of just an over straddle. And then when you come and you pivot forward, you'll be in the middle split. I hope that makes sense. I'll show you from the side too, and then you can kind of see. But it's the exact same thing that we were doing before in the frog split. So remember always to engage that muscle. You can see when you're engaged versus not engaged. Engage, nice and straight. If you're not engaged, it kind of just flops to the side. Engaged, nice and straight, looks a lot prettier, makes a nicer line, and it's much better form. So, and remember that the middle split is when the front of your hips are all the way on the ground and your feet are turned out, okay? So don't move those feet, just pivot it forward. Awesome. And when you're ready, we will fall in. It's definitely harder for me than just regular front splits. So it's something I'm going to work on. I think that's really cool. Nice. Let's show you from another angle here. Just a little bit to the side here. Come all the way up onto my blocks. Very cool. So I'm as far forward in my straddle as I can. So if you're way back here, it's going to be a lot easier. You're just going to go into a pancake like that, all the way forward. And then you can either fall in, walk yourself, whatever is easiest for you. Engaged. How you doing so far? Let me know. Are you able to do an over middle split? Are you having trouble with it? Is there something else I can explain in a different way maybe? We can talk a little bit about the anatomy of the hips. And just always remember, if there's sharp pain in your hips, back off. Start low and go slow. There we go. Awesome. And to come out, we will just grab our legs, ever so slowly come off, and you can just sort of kind of shake your legs out if you need to. And we're going to end with a nice forward fold in child's pose. So coming down onto your heels, your knees are together this time, and you're going to come down and take a couple of breaths here. Amazing, amazing job today. You guys did awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.